I cycle 5 days a week through the city center, and I am at least one time a week in an almost accident there because everyone cycles with a rush between the pedestrians. We will show you a video with the situation in Eindhoven and our solution. The busyness in the cities varies throughout the day. In rush hours, many bicycles need to cross the city center, while during the day there are more pedestrians going shopping or sightseeing. The problem is that bike lanes and pavements are overcrowded at certain times. This leads to annoyed street users and unsafe traffic situations, which can result in accidents. This ID uses lighted road marks by turning on and off certain lines on the road. These lighted lines are able to adjust the size of the road depending on the traffic situations. Bike lanes and pavements can be made narrower or wider. The lines will consist of LED lights, which are visible in day and nighttime. The lights will operate on a time controller, where the times will be based on analysis of the busyness on the street. After implementations of the adjustable light lines, we will provide a service to repair broken lights and adjust the time controller when patterns change. Adjustable traffic lanes for better traffic flow, safer roads, and a pleasant experience. In order to reduce the uncertainty around dynamic traffic lanes and validate a set of objectives like the functioning, the perceived advantage, and the expected costs and planning, we performed concept tests. The idea and prototype was posed to potential users via a survey, and a traffic engineer and light expert were interviewed. The main findings from the concept tests are listed here. These adjustments were taken into account into the new what, how much, and when of the dynamic traffic lanes, which we will talk about in the next section. Firstly, the dynamic traffic lanes will be implemented in the city center of Eindhoven as our first customer segment. The lanes can be turned off and on based on the crowdedness on the road to improve safety, congestion control, and user experience. Before the lanes change, the light will flicker to indicate the lines are about to change. The IoT system of Interact will help us to predict maintenance on the light lanes and busyness patterns on the roads for our service. This info can be found here in our business model canvas, and we will go into more detail about the costs, revenue, and partners later on. With a morphological overview and a house of quality, the best solutions were found to the sub-functions of our product. To ensure light emission, red LED lights are being used. For the visibility during the day, reflectors will be added. The housing will make the light lanes water and weight resistant. Power comes from the city's power grid, and the light control will be done through a timer and with the IoT system of Interact. We will license one patent to implement the light into the pavement. Other patterns we can work around. Furthermore, we will protect our product by maintaining good relationships with municipalities and providing an additional service for maintenance. In the following picture, you can see we work together with Heijmans for the implementation in the streets and a few constitutions for testing and the approval process. Based on further research and the concept tests, we made a complete cost overview, for example by adjusting the production costs, adding salaries and road directions, and taking into account marketing costs. Because the costs and the maintenance varies based on the kind of street, on how long the adjustable lights will be used, and how long the street is, we will give a cost indication for the 18 Septemberplein in Eindhoven as an example. Then the total costs will be approximately 2.5 million. On the first project, we will make a profit of 10% on the costs, which is approximately 250,000 at the 18 Septemberplein. The profit is under the presumption that the light lanes work 10 years. You can see the planning below. We made the planning a bit more realistic by taking more time for testing and waiting for approvals. According to our planning, implementation will be after 16 months, and the first project takes around 30 months. Our plan is to be the first in the market, which, in our opinion, is possible based on the planning. Ultimately, the dynamic traffic lanes will result in better traffic flow, safer roads, and a pleasant experience.